Hello, 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 and welcome. Today is Monday, February 19th, but whenever you are watching, it's fine, it's perfect timing. All time is now, so please enjoy. Feel free to fast forward to wherever you are wanting to watch from, if you're watching the replay. Okay. All right, I think we're good there. Oh yeah. Maybe. All right. Oh, I might need. Let's see if we got those. Let's see. I don't need those, but I do need one of these. Okay, cool. Sweet. All right, let's fix on this. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. My name is Angelica. How was everybody's weekend? Feel free to come in and say hi. I kind of just would like to come into the space and say hi, kind of greet everyone first before we just like jump in. I don't know how other people do it, but that's how I do it. Let's like actually greet each other first. I'm just saying, we got to remember that we're humans and we all want to connect on the very deepest level. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. How is it going? How's it going? Are you new? Let me know in the comments. Are you new? Are you a return? I would say the word that comes into mind is offender, but that's not the word that I want to use. I want to use, are you a return? Are you familiar with this space? Hey, Brittany, how are you? Are you new? Where are you from? How are you doing? How was your weekend? How is the energy treating you? How's life treating you? Just stumbled in. Well, I'm happy to have you here. Hi, Sierra. Yeah, I want to say I remember. I want to say it's familiar. I want to say that's familiar. It's nice to have you back, Sierra. New, Brittany's new, or Brit's new. I'm not sure if you go by Brittany or Brit. Alicia, how are you, my dear? So let me know if you're new, where you're from. My name is Angelica. I am I'm an intuitive empath, a quantum healer, and I also do readings. Extremely intuitive. I've read people my entire life, but didn't know, due to like gaslighting and just, all of the illusions and distortions of other people, I didn't realize I was actually spot on. And so yeah, but I actually was. I've been doing this professionally since 2018. And if you need to know or want to know any more about me, you can visit my website or just ask. I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's nice to see you too. So I'm offering free and paid readings as well as other paid services tonight. Go ahead, and if you are new, let me know if you're new. Just leave your name, where you're from, where are you hailing from tonight or this morning or whatever the time of day it is for you. So let's kind of get into the structure. Okay. There's a lot of, I tend to get a lot of new people. So, I was literally just going to say, I get a lot of people from Australia in here. I love it. So to all of my newbies, thank you for joining me. I appreciate y'all. My free readings, right? Free readings are mini. They're going to be shorter, more compact, less in depth. All right. That's why they're free. So you just comment with your name and a question. It can be yes or no. It could be general, love, health, career. And the way those work is I just go where I'm intuitively guided. Okay. So if I don't get to you, it's nothing personal. I'm just following my own higher guidance and spirit. Okay. As for paid services, okay, I do in-depth readings, okay, chakra clearing and cord removal, quantum healing, mediumship, and multidimensional mediumship. These are my paid services, okay? So if you're wanting to know about grandma, grandpa, anybody that maybe passed recently, those are all my paid services only. And they're paid only because it takes a lot of energy for me to like actually tune in. So if you do want to donate or pay for a service, all of my links are to donate are in my profile. They're in that link. You click on the link. There's Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. PayPal is the little icon that's all the way at the bottom, and it's like a money icon. And then you let me know in the comments that you donated, because all of my peoples and peeps that donate or pay for a reading or a service, they go first. Okay. So go ahead, if you do, whether it's free or paid, just go ahead and comment with your name and a question, or whatever you're wanting to inquire about. The more specific you are, the more specific the information. Okay. Also, I forgot to say, I don't do pregnancy or fertility because it's just not my bag. Okay. I need to I feel like I need to like switch my voice. Okay. That feels a little bit better. Oops. And just continue to put in, feel free to keep putting in your question. There is a very fine line between spamming and making sure that I'm seeing it, or, just to see if Spirit's going to lead me to you. But feel free to keep putting in your questions, and I'm just going to scroll through the comments here. And first off, what I like to do before I begin any readings is thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. I love you. I just like to tune into the energetic space and set some intentions. This space is always for the highest and best good of you individually and all of us together collectively as a humanity and as a group consciousness. No harm is done ever. No energy is taken that is not freely given. And we always work in alignment and honor and regard and the highest respect to your divine will, your free will, as well as in the highest integral alignment to universal law. Okay. Hi, Shannon. I see you. I'm actually feeling, hold on. It's very interesting. I'm going to, Rachel, I feel like I'm being drawn to you. Are you here? Rachel's asking about love, and will I find it this year? Will it last? Okay, there you are. So thank you. First of all, thanks for confirming that you're here. I'm just going to connect. So with you, Rachel, you keep manifesting. So this might be a little hard to hear, but I love you. And because I love you and I respect you, I'm going to just tell it to you straight. But just know that I say it with the highest amount of love and compassion for where you are. What you're doing is you're manifesting relationships from a very deep place, a very deep emotional wound of unworthiness. That's just one of the wounds that keeps coming up in your relationships, that keeps manifesting. Okay, and that's the place you're manifesting from. And until you actually address this wound and release the identity of the version of you that holds this wound and feels insignificant, is the word that I hear, unworthy, and like unworthy of love, unworthy of a quality relationship. This is in your unconscious, okay? So I'm speaking to a very, very deep unconscious part of you. Until you release this identity, you're going to keep drawing in people or relationships that are going to trigger this very deep wound until you resolve this, okay? So rather than saying, am I going to find love this year and will it last? I would invite you to explore the parts within you that feel deeply unworthy and that feel deeply unloved, feel deeply insignificant, unheard, unseen. Because until you address this, you're going to keep manifesting from that space. Okay? And this is going to take some deep self-love on your part to go into this type of work. Okay? So I know that's not what you want to hear. That's maybe wasn't the question, but that's what your guides are saying. Okay? You feel that? Yeah. It's going to be the same old story until you release that identity. Okay? Yeah, it's all about growth right now. How committed are you to utilizing all of your challenges, spinning them into opportunities, utilizing them as opportunities in order to grow? That doesn't mean dismiss your trauma or your wounds or anything like that, or being dismissive or invalidating the things that have happened that have created these identities. It's just about how you're focusing, how you're perceiving, and where you're putting your energy, how you're focusing your energy. Okay? Does that make sense? I feel like my voice is straining. I feel like I need to change my voice. Tamika, she hears you. There's nothing to forgive. She understands, but there's nothing to forgive. Rachel says, it's definitely recent wounds too. I'm putting a lot of, energy into horses because I want to be a horse trainer. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Oh no, my voice has been kind of strained like this all day. You're welcome, Tamika. I hope that, is it Tamika or Tamika? Because depending on, sorry, if I completely butchered your name. So let's continue with some free Tamika. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. I was like reading it like almost like Hawaiian for whatever reason. So you might have like some like Lemurian energetics. That's beautiful, Rachel. I would say definitely keep doing that. And I feel like horses are very healing. And I feel like working with horses can definitely help you create a new identity. Thank you, Jess, for the beautiful compliment. Yeah. I do have PayPal. PayPal, if you click on the link, Britt, if you click on my link, you go all the way down. PayPal is in the icon that's all the way at the bottom. Like with like TikTok and YouTube, it's in that little cluster. Okay? Yeah, I feel like horses can really help you. Okay, so let's get back into free and paid readings, right? So I'm offering free and paid readings as well as other paid services. So for free readings, don't be shy. Comment with your question or comment with your name and question. It could be yes or no, general, love, health, career. And the way those work is I just go wherever I'm intuitively guided. Okay. As far as my paid services, okay, in-depth readings, okay, chakra clearing and cord removal, quantum healing, mediumship, and multidimensional mediumship. So please note that I don't typically like go, if you want me to go into detail, I don't typically do that unless it's paid. But if it's like a little short thing, sometimes they'll come through. Interesting. Oh, Shannon, I see you. Let me know. Marina, you're asking if you should move to Washington. So number one, I'm not here to tell you what to do. The PayPal is all the way at the bottom, Shannon. It's a little icon all the way at the bottom. It's like a little money icon. So where you see like Spotify, the Spotify icon, the YouTube icon, TikTok and Facebook and all those icons, it's a money icon and that takes you to PayPal. So Marina, you're still here, right? Let me know that you're here. Sometimes people ask questions and they pop off. Let me know. Okay. All right. So you're asking, okay. So what I was saying is I'm not here to tell you what to do. That's for you to make up your own mind because you're the authority. You're the ultimate authority and over your life and you have the agency to do so. However, I can feel into the energy and the alignment and tell you what I feel. Okay. Marina, okay, there you are. Washington. Where are you wanting to move? Is it more like a central Washington? Because for whatever reason, I'm feeling like drawn to like more central. I'm even feeling maybe Seattle-ish. Maybe not like Seattle itself, but like maybe surrounding areas of Seattle, like Seattle or Seattle adjacent. And up into the middle of Washington. Not really on the coast. I'm feeling what would be really beneficial for you is to move very close to water. Doesn't necessarily have to be like the coast or the ocean, but like a water feature, like a lake, a reservoir, you know, a river, something like that, a waterfall. Should you move, it feels like Washington holds some codes, like the land there holds codes for you. And by that, I just mean like the land feels like it would replenish you. It would feel very homey, and it would feel it feels very beneficial. Okay, so it gets to be your decision, but it does feel like it's a very highly possible and aligned choice. Okay, Everett, I don't know where that is. Oh, close to Seattle. So that's where I feel like that's why I was being guided to Seattle surrounding. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Hi, TC. You can just call me Angelica. I'm way too young to be referred to as ma'am. Thank you, Alicia. I love that. Okay. I see you. Okay, Shannon, I see you. Let me write in your name. And Tara or Tara? Not sure the pronunciation, but you're asking about what is a quantum healing? So quantum healing is when I connect to your superconscious or your higher self, and I let your higher self do whatever needs to be done. So I just become a conduit of what your higher self wants to bring in. So it could be light language, it could be channeling, a lot of energy work and clearing tends to happen in these types of sessions. And does that make sense? It's kind of like I tune in, I tap in, and then I'm just like, you know, doing all the things. And sometimes there's restructuring, healing, clearing out. And I've had people say nothing but wonderful things about that. Yeah. Yeah, Shannon, I've worked with Shannon one-on-one, and we really cleared quite a bit. So Bonnie, I guess that would constitute as more of a mediumship. Okay. And you know, that is more of a paid type of reading. Okay. All right. So let me look at what you had to say. Anything that comes through around anything else too. You were wanting to connect. You were asking about your son, correct? Or just kind of anything in general? Let's see. Let me swipe that there. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, that's interesting. Your mom stays out there. Yeah, it will feel like home. Yeah, it feels like really rejuvenating and replenishing for you, my dear. And I feel like it would be really beneficial for you. So you know, it gets to be your choice, but it feels really aligned for you. Oh, your question is, Kylie, you paid for a reading? Through which app? Sometimes my payments come through a little bit late. Let me look. You said anything that comes through around anything else? Hold on. I'm trying to look for your question, Shannon, but maybe it got filtered. I feel like I need to be more centered. I'm not seeing your question. I think it got filtered, Shannon. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Oh, I see. It's a cat. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Tara, I see you. Quantum. There's some good things coming in for you. I can already feel it. Okay, around your son. Okay, I seen that, Shannon. I seen that. PayPal. Okay, let me check. The other thing I could do is check in right here on my trusty computer, because sometimes PayPal is weird and it doesn't show the things right away. Earth Angel, I don't see anything yet from you, my dear. Do you want to check that? You want to double check that and get back to me? Because I don't see it. Okay, so I have Tara. All right, okay. I got you on my... Okay, yeah. Definitely check and come back. Okay, so Shannon, I'm going to continue with Shannon's reading and then let me know, Kylie, how things go. Okay? Shannon. Okay, you ready, Shannon? They're actually showing me. We're going to pull a card or two. I'm going to just tune into your energy. So it's really interesting. So when I tune into your energy, Shannon, what I instantly feel is like there's been a lot of movement since we last worked together for you. As your son is concerned, it's a little bit, I guess, opposite of that. He feels a little stuck. What I feel is like there's a lot of people in his ear. And then I hear like the word impressionable. So he's at that impressionable age where there's a lot of just, you're trying to figure out who you are, and you're impressionable, and there's all these people saying this and that and this and that. And you haven't quite lived enough of life to maybe have like a more fuller breadth of perspective. So it feels like he's kind of stuck. All the voices coming at him and all of the programming. And then And then what they're showing me is like the Aquarius. How was it in January? Like January 20th or whatever, when it, like everything kind of finally shifted into Aquarius, when Pluto shifted to an Aquarius, they're showing me that. So things around power dynamics, imbalanced power dynamics, that's all shifting. All of that to kind of say that there feels like there's some unexpected events happening, so as to help him kind of move to become unstuck. That's kind of what I hear. The other word I hear with this Aquarian energy is erratic. So it feels like what I'm also hearing is like a bumpy ride. It's going to be a bumpy ride. I don't necessarily feel that he's meant to stay on the path that he's on. I feel it's like one of those things where he's like, where it's like you got to experience the darkness to know light type of things. And right now he's exploring the darker path in order to understand, like, finally when it's time, when that timing finally aligns. It's like, oh, it's like it's like that moment, the aha moment. But until then, it feels like he's on a bumpy ride. And they keep bringing me back to this event. I don't know if this is a passing of someone, but it kind of feels like that. I don't know if it's a passing of someone or if it's a passing. It kind of feels like a passing of someone. I'm just trying to feel into this and see if there is, kind of like work it out in my head and see if like there's another way to put it, but it does feel like a passing, like a death in the family. Now this could be a physical death or an identity or ego death. I guess I'll put it like that. Okay, but it feels pretty absolute, at least how I'm reading the energy right now. They're not saying who or what. It just feels like a bumpy ride. Because we're talking about power, and I also associate like the power and Pluto or the Plutonian type of energy, you know, there's death, rebirth, power, and all of those imbalances, especially with the Aquarian energy. So it feels like there is, you know, like some type of death that's gonna kind of rock his world and add to that kind of bumpy ride. But in the bigger scope of things, it's helping him to figure things out and figure himself out. And there's just, that's interesting. There's some things, it's also like the death of this old energy. He's not meant to be in this old energy, this old paradigm. Okay. They don't really give me a timeline. And with the non-existence of the timeline, what I'm hearing is like choice. So it kind of depends on his choices. I mean, obviously, right? To me, I feel like that's like a duh. It's like a logic. It's a logic thing. But they don't give me any kind of timeline. But like 2024 into 20, extending into 2026, I feel is kind of going to be a little bumpy for him. On your part, so they're bringing it back to you, what you can do. Have you been working with the sun energy? That's what they said. It's funny. If you've been working with the sun energy and sending him that light and reminding him that that's also a choice, or you can even like, I might even suggest working with the sun in order to neutralize the darkness and bring in neutrality. Does that make sense? So, working with the sun in order to neutralize the dark, to send him, or send the vibes of neutrality to him and around him. Another thing that's coming to mind is you can always like send in angels around him. I mean, did we say this before? I feel like I said this before. I don't know. So I don't know if this is a reminder or like hey, remember this? Like obviously he's going to make his choices. But like the angels can help at least, with some degree of shielding, protection, and or just like general guidance. But not imposing your will. Okay, he's definitely got to figure this out for himself. So there, I'm seeing you've worked with, okay, raw, been all around us, 7 letters. Oh, okay, nice. Okay, so there's definitely a lot. Okay, so since you've already been working with that, I feel like that is what the sun energy is helping to do, is neutralize. I would ask for neutrality around this, for yourself as well as your son. Because when we go into like too much light and love, then we can get into like Luciferian type of like energy. And so like neutrality brings us back into like balance with everything. So whatever works for you to bring you back into like neutrality. Like yes, love, yes, light, Yes, compassion. Yes, all of that. It's also like, it's important to explore the shadow too. Of course, we don't have to get stuck there either. Interesting. So these feel like they're your sons, because you're asking about your son. You've also sent energy to expose the lies around him. Yeah. Oh, see, like you're, okay, so this is confirming to me, this is already confirming that like you're already doing everything that you can, to be honest. So this is like part of his energy. So I would say inauthentic. It's not truly who he's meant to be in this life. I feel like either way, he's going to come back around. But sometimes we got to learn those hard lessons, or we got to learn those lessons the hard way. I've been there. So it can turn him around into being more authentic to who his spirit has decided to be in this life. Okay. So I would definitely keep doing what you're doing as far as that. And there's self-worth. Okay. It's about awareness. And we have we have an initiation card. Initiation card with Sirius. And then we have awareness card around self-worth. So I feel like there's I guess, a lack of self-worth that is contributing, or no, they're showing me like a hole, like a blind spot. So sometimes, when everybody has blind spots, right? But like, I feel like one of his biggest blind spots is not having a lot of self-worth, or at least, kind of lacking in that area for whatever reason, whatever programming is there. And then because of that, it's easier for him to be manipulated by people who feel very certain about what they're saying. So for him, even the lies, they feel safe to him. Okay, so I would definitely just keep doing what you're doing and send him a lot of love. But it feels like, because there's resistance, not just coming from him, but like those around him, it might be a little bit more of like a hard lesson. So I'd send him lots of love and compassion from your side of things. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Let me just kind of tune in to see. Yeah. Your guides, your higher self is saying like you're already doing everything that you can. Without going into like unethically forcing and forcing your will. Like you're doing everything you can within your alignment. So this is a faith and a trust thing for you as well. So he's learning like a tough lesson, but I feel like for whatever reason, that might be a tough thing for you as well. Like the trust and have faith. I think we worked a little bit on that. So this is part of that. I might have said that too. I feel like I said that before. But this is part of like part of your path is to really practice faith and trust, especially in your own magical skills to, send energy and then like release and detach and say, I'm just sending you love without any attachments. And with that, I feel everybody kind of like disperse out of my field. It's okay. You need to hear it again. Yeah. I feel like sometimes we just need that, and that's totally okay. And I usually, I forget, but it sounded familiar. Some of those things sounded familiar. But yeah. Okay, all right. So, Kylie, I see you. Kylie. All right, reading for Kylie. So, Shannon, sending you all of the love, my dear. And yeah, just sending you love and hugs. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Just love and hugs and keep the faith. Okay. I'm going to cross your name off of my list. Shannon, we got you. Kylie. I have Kylie and then Tara. Love you. It's nice to see you again and connect again. All right. So, yes, let me swipe these things. Okay. So, Kylie, you're next and you want a reading. So do you have like a question, like a specific question? Could be yes or no. Or are you open? You know, we can go into health, career, love, whatever. Or if you have a question, we can explore that question. Let me know. In the meantime, I gotta go pee and I will be right back. Un momento. All right. All right. So you're open to whatever messages? Sweet. Okay, let's do it. One moment. Let me swipe that too. Okay. No, I got you. I get you. Okay, Kylie. So let's see. I'm filling cards for you too. I think we're actually going to start off with cards. Un momento. I need a... Grab it. Swig. All right. Okay, so Kylie. There you are. So let me just fill into your energy in your field. Actually, I have the wrong deck. We're going to use the chakra cards for you. Okay? I'm going to use those cards for you because I feel this is about like feels like things that you're being guided emphatically to let go of, like that are blocking you, your abundance, etc. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to connect your higher self. لأمي لا لهيس إنشي اللي حما هاي نتيخس اللي ما لو هي سنة اللي حسنة اللي حسنة اللي حس شيني حسنة أمروي اللي حما تكتجا ما تقص شا 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 leke ama leku ya le mate te hatin o mahayana ne welena mate kite amata te matata bata leke ano lo amasene hana te hat shikia Aleo wala mate tutu hene hat hashaku wala mate tabata. So I'm just kind of talking, speaking to your higher self through sound codes. So I just want you to go ahead, Kylie, and take 3 really deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and one more, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, that feels good. That feels better. So, very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So kind of just looking, I'm going to show you your cards here in a minute, one by one. Yeah. Okay. I'm just kind of filling into where the energy is getting stuck. It's very obvious in the cards. But as I feel into things, it helps to bring the words to like articulate through language. So, okay, your first card is truth. Okay. It's honesty. Truth, transparency, sincerity, and communication. So this brings me into the throat chakra, right? The key in her hand is it unlocks that chakra. This is very interesting. So what sticks out to me is the word transparency. And when I think of transparency, I actually start hearing authenticity. So what I hear is when, you know how like sometimes you might be talking to someone and maybe you don't know them that well, maybe you do, but you kind of just like are agreeing to everything, without kind of really maybe stating your opinion, or you're just kind of like taking in the information without really, not necessarily asserting yourself in the conversation, because it's not really about being assertive. It's more about like being present and kind of just sharing your own truth from an authentic place, not argumentative, not aggressive, just simply like, you think, like, that's really interesting that you say that. Like, I feel da 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 da. So it feels like you're just being agreeable, but you're not actually like expressing the things that like your intuition and that are like rattling in your head, or your own opinions. And you're not really sharing that. And that's a part of being honest. That's what they're saying. That's one of the aspects of being honest with yourself, right? Because when we show up in a conversation, how authentically and just we can be transparent with others, It's also about standing and being in our own truth. Does that make sense? So they're saying like, but you have the key. It's just to be, and here's the thing. I feel like you kind of get caught up, or you kind of, I don't know if struggle is the word, but I'm going to use that just for context. Feels like you kind of struggle with, do you be aggressive? You don't want to be assertive or aggressive. You don't want to come off that way. It's almost like you haven't quite found how to be like just authentically sharing from an unaggressive, you don't like from a place where you don't need someone else to agree with you. And it feels like that's where you're being guided to explore. How do you explore that? How do you say that? And I totally get this because I had struggled with this for so long. Until, I had someone come in. She was my friend for quite a long time, and helped me kind of figure that out. It's just about being like, if you don't know what to say or you don't know how to say things, just be like, I'm sorry, this might come off awkward, but like, this is kind of what I think about the situation or about the subject. And those, even being awkward within it is how we kind of learn how to like, be more authentic, and that also is disarming for people, because then they realize you're not being aggressive or assertive. And if they can't see that, then that's a them problem. That's a them thing. That's a them gift. Okay. So it feels like you get a little stuck and unsure of like, how do I share my truth? So you kind of just agree. Because what I keep hearing is like, I'm agreeable. I'm just going to be agreeable. I don't want to come off offensive. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want anybody to get defensive. So like, there's also a fear of not belonging. It gets me a little emotional. And also feeling unworthy of speaking your truth. Like your truth is somehow, it doesn't belong, and it's somehow not relevant or not worthy of being validated, even by you. Okay. So we go in a little bit deep. We're going kind of deep, but I feel like these are things that you already know, but we're just kind of bringing them up because your guides are like, these are parts, or you could say these are wounds that are attached to an old identity that is no longer serving you. Okay. So this card is basically showing me, it's telling me like, how can you explore being and showing up in your truth? Just simply sharing. There's definitely some traumas and stuff that have created this identity, and wounds there that, that don't want to create the defensiveness, that don't want to create the, that don't want to be aggressive, that don't want to come off as unlikable or somehow unlovable. But these are just identities that you've created, that your unconscious has created to keep you safe. And honey, they're telling me like this, and honey, they've worked for you in the past, but going forward, they're not going to work for you, because you're going to feel the misalignment much more. It's going to be much more palpable from here on out. Okay, you probably already feel it. So next card is action. What's up? I know it's been a long time. Is it Devin? I want to say it's Devin. Dustin? I don't remember. I know it's a D name, right? I feel like that's the old me, and I'm trying not to be that way. It's, yeah, a lot of trauma. Yeah, there's a lot of things. It's just, and all of that trauma is connected to an old identity. And it's about releasing the old identity, and that has all of these wounds and stuff, and creating a new identity. Okay, you know that you're, oh, Devin, yeah. I knew I was right, kind of. Action is your next card. It's nice to see you again, Devin. So your next card is action, movement, perseverance, discipline, and motivation. So this is where I really feel like this is your root chakra, right? This is where I feel the energy gets really stuck. It gets really blocked, and the word I hear is convoluted. And the action becomes inaction. I'm just kind of feeling in. The action becomes inaction. Like I almost feel like I become paralyzed. I don't know what to do, so I just don't do anything. And that's perpetuating a cycle, and it perpetuates this, it keeps this old identity alive, okay? Because action, if you notice, like she's dancing, right? It's also part of expression. That action, it's also part of your truth. So you actually have another, your third card is throat chakra too. So what we're doing, let me see, where are we at? So what we're doing is we're creating room, because if you don't know this, when I do a reading for you, I'm also helping to free up the energy. That's why people pay to have readings with me is because I start to clear out the energy. Or at least I help you move through the energy as we talk, and as I talk, as you listen, I'm actually helping to move the energy. But so action is actually part of your expression. And so I feel like there's a lot of inaction. Like, oh, I want to do this. I want to create this. But like, maybe you don't know where to start, or you don't know what to do. So it becomes inaction. And like, this chakra on you feels pretty, I guess, dense, but it also feels like really cloudy. Like the energy just isn't moving a lot. It feels really like the energy feels really gummy and really sticky. Your action and your ability to ground or feel grounded, especially in your body, and especially like being present, it feels like I wouldn't say almost non-existent, but pretty like adjacent to that. It feels like there's like, I don't know if you find yourself going up and out of your body during conversations, or during life, or during like different like little mundane things. But that's kind of that's the energy. That's the kind of like feel that it's giving me, because the energy gets stuck, and then you don't because you don't know what to do, and it gets like frustrating and overwhelming. It's safer and it's easier to jump outside of the body, to dissociate. And that feels safe. And I feel you on this. I've definitely been here. So I'm sending you all the love. As we're connecting, your higher self is actually, because I guess one of my main blueprint is to be a healer. And as a healer, I'm a catalyst, and I help move. I move a shit ton of energy. So from us connecting, your higher self is already working on moving some of this energy. So over the next couple of days after this reading, you might actually feel yourself being a little bit more clear, a little bit more decisive, and a little bit more like action feels a little bit less overwhelming and less paralyzing. Like you're not paralyzed with indecision as much, okay? But it's not up to me to do all the things. I'm here to show you, the energy can move. I'm here to just help people move the energy, and with that also empower them of like how to move it for yourself. Right? I don't want anybody to be dependent on me for anything. So action. So there is a line. Each chakra does its thing, right? And we want to build from our foundation. Our root is our foundation. So your root is a little bit shaky. I'm hearing at best. And it's not a judgment. It's just your foundation feels a little bit shaky. And so each chakra, as it ascends in the body, it builds on the last chakra. So if we have a shaky or a shoddy foundation, there's no integrity, and then we collapse. We are unable to actually ground heaven, which is the higher realms and the higher chakras, to earth through our action. Okay? And your energy is very stuck here. It's because of safety. You don't feel safe. And there's a lot of fear that's creating a lot of immobility in your life. Okay? Old identities, again, it's just an old identity that can be easily released. Oh, that's an old me. It might be easier than it sounds, or sounds easier than it actually is, but it's definitely possible. Okay, so they're guiding me to your last card. Your last card is self-expression. Yeah, you need to do it yourself. Yeah. I'm here about teaching. I'm here to teach people rather than like have people being completely reliant on me. So your last one is about self-expression. And so this is about vocalization, individuality, inner voice, and assertiveness. We were talking about that with this as well, right? So about expressing actually what is on your mind and just sharing it without any attachment to needing to be right, to needing to convince or persuade people to have your own opinion. Like it's yours and it gets to be yours, right? And expressing. This is about using your voice more. I'm just gonna say it. It's funny. It's funny that I'm saying that. But this is about really finding your voice and even if your voice shakes, speaking anyway. Even if it feels awkward, speaking anyway. Oh yeah, this feels awkward to me. I don't know how to express this. And I don't want to come off this way. But and then just share what you feel. But really, this is an offering and an opportunity to share your point of view. Okay. I'm going to say that again because that's what they're saying. This is an opportunity to share your point of view because it is unique to you and your experiences. It is worthy. It is valid. And you are safe to express your unique truth and just share it. Excuse me. We're moving that we're moving that energy from the root to the throat. Excuse me. So what was coming through before that light language that I was, okay, there's some more coming through. What I was coming through, or what was coming through before when I was like speaking the gibberish, that was to help activate your unique expression and to help you like connect to it on a more visceral level. Okay, so we're just kind of moving some things around in your field. And we're just kind of clearing some things. Especially moving some things through the heart and helping to connect and reconnect that throat to that root chakra. Because the more you express here and find your voice, the easier you're going to find the action to align with your voice. That may sound a little cryptic now, but I promise that it's going to make sense. If it doesn't make sense yet, I promise it's going to make sense in the future. That's what they're saying to me anyway. So, they want me to say it again. Again, this is like your confirmation and your reminder, if you needed one, here in the flesh of like, it's your opportunity right now to find your voice. It's never too late. They're saying it's never too late because the moment is already now, is always now. And when we say it's like, oh, it's too late, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too this, those are just programs. They're not true. They might be true from a certain limited perspective, but they're not like true, like they're not universal truths. And we're saying this so as to kind of help you release and like dislodge some of these old identities. It gets to be your choice to let go or to not, because it is your choice. And the more you choose, the more you release. The more you choose, the more you release. The more you align, the more you release. But this is about finding your voice unapologetically, and about, okay, last thing, there are nuances when it comes to finding your voice, because when we find our voice and communicate, there are the nuances of when to express, when to not express, when is the proper company, when it's not. It's knowing when to communicate and what to communicate. But knowing that you're safe no matter what. Okay? There's a big safety issue when it comes to you expressing, because you feel like there's a past life. A lot of us who may like identify as light workers, starseeds, empaths, or sensitives, there's been lifetimes where we've been persecuted, burned at the stake, hung, killed, beheaded, for speaking our truth, for speaking higher truths. And this is part of a past life that's come in with you, that you're working through this karma. Okay? This is some karma for you. And you get to choose whether you let that go and you find resolve finally for that karma, and you let it go, because you don't need it. You can clear it. Okay. They're basically kind of stepping back now, because they're like, you've given her a lot. There's a lot of information. It's circulating and percolating in your field. I would definitely encourage you to drink a lot of water over the next couple of days, if you don't already, because that's going to help you to assimilate the information. Okay. Also know that you can rewatch this reading on my YouTube channel, because I post all of my lives. So if you forget anything, you can always go back and watch it. Okay. But they're saying that's good. You've given her a lot to we've brought up a lot in your unconscious, and it's like we've kicked up all of the dirt in the water, so to speak. So now it's up to you to assimilate and take action from there. Okay. And practically apply what it is that you feel guided and aligned to, that you choose to. Okay. So, okay, they finally completely disconnected. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. Kylie, please, definitely watch the replay if you feel called, and sending you all the hugs and the love, because I definitely understand more than you know of how these are things that I've had to work out too within my own self, and so it can be a lot, but you got it. You're here. This is what you're here for. And yeah, let me know if you maybe need any more support or anything like that. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you, Kylie. All right, Tara and her quantum healing is up next. Let me know that you're here and we'll get going. Oh, thank you for all the gifts, the bracelets and stuff. There's Tara. Okay, cool. So Tara, what I like to do is, first off, I need to do this more. I want to get your consent to work in your field, to work with your highest self. Typically when people pay, that is like my go ahead, but I want to be more practical about it. So I just want to get your consent to work in your field. And also ask you, do you have anything specific that you'd like to work on? Because we work with your intentions as well as the higher self. And that's something I forgot to include when I explained quantum healing. Okay, sweet. I got your consent. Thank you for that. It's important. Consent is important. But if you'd like to work on any, like a physical ailment, or anything else, whatever. Okay, so you're just open. All right, we can do that. Come on. All right, so Tara. So I just want you to take 3 to 5 deep breaths in through the mouth, or in through the nose, in through the nose, and out through the mouth, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Very good. Keep going. And while you do that, I'm just connecting to your higher self. So, my dear, you are welcome to keep your eyes open. I'm going to invite you to close them because that allows us to have a much clearer, like, feeling experience of the whole thing. And if you're sensitive to energy, you're definitely going to feel this because we're going to clear out some stuff. We're going to do actually a little bit. From what I'm understanding, we're going to remove a couple of cords. And just help you shift your frequency a bit. So just closing your eyes, and I just want you to feel into your body. Whatever sensations you feel, however big or small, whether it's your heart beating, or the pulse of your blood in your veins, whatever sensations and movements that you're drawn to. So I just want you to continue taking those deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just nice and relaxed. And then I want you to bring your attention to your heart space. Okay. So go ahead and focus on your heart space. And I'm just going to work silently for a couple of moments here. Continuing to breathe deeply. Continue to focus on that heart space. Feeling that heart space expand and blossom and flower. Melting any heart walls, fences, brick walls, gates, locks, thorns you may have put up around that beautiful, beautiful heart space of yours. Interesting. As this energy runs, so I was just grounding you in your own energy, clearing out some of the distortions in your field. And one of the things that keeps popping into my head is like, there is like way back in my throat, I feel like there's something that I want to say that I'm not saying. This goes beautifully in line with Kylie's reading, where it's like, where I was hearing like, it's time to be honest with yourself, because there's something that you're not saying, and it's like, it feels like it's lodged right here on my right side. And typically for me, right always is like indicative of more masculine energy. So I don't know if it's regarding, you know, more male in like your male relationships, whether it's father, brother, like whatever kind of male relationships you have, there's something that feels like it's lodged in the back of my throat, that it's almost like you're adamant about not saying it because it doesn't feel safe to say the things. And like there's a lot of like fear around it. So we're running the energy and we're clearing the distortions, not just in this chakra, but all of your chakras. But like there is definitely something like a pretty significant block in your throat, like, and it has to do with you not actually speaking your truth. Okay, they're not showing me like what specifically, but they do bring like in the masculine aspect and how you relate to masculine energy, whether it feels like you don't feel quite safe to be seen like by like masculine energy, because then it feels like your energy kind of like sucks in. And I almost feel anxiety around it. So there, for whatever reason, they're having me point this out as a point of interest. Okay. I would so I'll ask you. You don't have to answer now, but it's like a self-exploration. And you might already know what it is, you might not. But I will ask you, what are you not saying? Because every time you're inspired to share who you are, what you are, who you be, and you suppress that, it's an act of betrayal of the self. It's an act of rejection of the self. And what's actually more self-loving is to be able to just freely speak your truth authentically, transparently. So as I'm saying that, what is becoming more clear is not feeling like you belong with the masculine. So whether this comes from dad or brother or whatever other masculine relationship you had from womb to about 4 years old, it's relating back to that. It even feels like it comes in with you as a wound. So this feels also like a parallel lifetime thing, otherwise referred to as past life. It feels like also a past life thing. Again, because you've been persecuted for speaking your truth. It actually feels like you were killed by a male in, I don't know if this was your last life. They're all simultaneous. They're all now. So I don't know if it was like your most recent. Feels like it's maybe 1 or 2 back. But there is significant trauma there. Being killed or betrayed by someone close to you that was a male. So you brought this in with you in order to clear the karma, because you're helping to also clear these other aspects of you that have suffered persecution from speaking their truth. And so we're helping. So what I'm also doing now that I'm saying it, is we're also sending healing to those versions of you. So you might get remembrances or flashes or little things in your head. So I will encourage you to maybe do some journaling after this, see what comes through, sit with it. But we're helping to heal that, like that very significant throat trauma. It also closed down your heart and made it feel very unsafe to trust, especially those closest to you. So sometimes, I don't know if you have this in your life, in your current life, but it feels like there's like this unconscious thing that happens in your closer relationships. There's almost like a pushing away because you're feeling that unsafety from that past life of like this betrayal that happened. And you don't want to You don't want to experience that same type of rejection and betrayal. So it's like, you're pushing them away before it could ever get to that spot. Okay. So we're just helping you release what can be released today. This is part of your exploration of your truth. And sharing that authentically. And again, safety. Knowing that you're safe. You're actually more safe speaking out now. In the other lifetimes, you weren't. But we're in a new era. We're in a new age where we're actually safer being out and being aligned and sharing our truth than not. So this might bring up some things. It might bring up some like unexpected tears or unexpected emotions. Just let those flow. Just let yourself experience and feel them. There might be some anger, some sadness. Just let yourself feel. Hale e mea mahala mahala mahanda te hea sekia na te lecha ana te kia ana te kia ana te kia ana te kia le kia le kia maha sashana tu kuya hala 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 kuya 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 laha 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 sinatu ku mahana te kia sanati hasa Eshiwe, Shomato, Mene, Hate, Makoya, Hasamakoya, I'm so sorry you had to experience betrayal of this magnitude. I'm so sorry they betrayed you. I'm so sorry you were rejected. I'm so sorry you didn't belong. I'm so sorry you were persecuted for being authentic, for being who you truly were. I'm so sorry they saw you as a threat. I'm so sorry they saw you as a threat. I'm so sorry your truth was a threat to them. I'm so sorry you weren't safe. I'm so sorry you were unlovable. I'm so sorry you've carried this for such a long time. Aleha maha laha chisene chasene helecho ehea sikiana te lecha as. Hoho aleha 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 lena te kiasi achasene kasene kasene ka. Leku eleku eleku ama aleha lahasa 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 lahasa. Ishikule oshikule loshikule hena te hasane 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 hata tuku 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 tuku. Just go ahead and take some deep breaths for me, my dear. Breathe into it. Whatever is moving through your system, just let yourself feel it. We're releasing some really significant old, like past life stuff. They're like they're old imprints in your field that your higher self is like, this can go. She doesn't need this anymore. It's like obsolete, basically. Those contracts have been filled or fulfilled. And now we can release those. So we're going to clear those contracts. Also clearing these old vows. I'm so sorry you vowed to never speak your truth again. Releasing the spell that you put on yourself. So I'm going to bring in diamond light through your crown. It's going to go down through your crown, all the way down your chakra system, all the way down into your feet, into the middle of the earth. And it's going to fill you up so completely. It expands out into your auric field, clearing any imprints, any contracts, any vows that are associated with this persecution imprint and the inability to speak authentically, transparently, as it pertains to masculine energy and the betrayal, the rejection, which led to self-rejection, that then was created and manifested. And I just want you to breathe deeply, my dear. While these things, these imprints clear from your field, the deeper you breathe actually helps them clear out quicker. So your breath actually helps the energy to move. Okay, so just breathing deeply. And just allow yourself, give yourself permission to release these old vows and identities, and really to know and connect into the safety that is there now. We're going to do this. We're going to do this next. So as that diamond light dissolves those old imprints, old contracts, old vows and oaths that you've made, I'm going to call in. I just want you to feel into your root chakra and the cord that is running from your root chakra to the center of the earth. And I want you to notice how I've actually extended that. It's not like it's just a little cord. It's a big cord, as big as you are. That cord is that big, running to the center of the earth. And I want you to just feel that divine mother, that Mother Earth energy running up your feet, opening your feet chakras, up through your legs and your knees, stabilizing your legs and your knees, running right into your root. And our root is where we find safety. It's one of our foundational building blocks of how we create reality. And when we feel unsafe in this chakra, we block our own feeling, like our own internalized feeling of safety. So I just want you to feel how safe and held you are by the Divine Mother. Feeling her nurture you and hold you and love you and helping you dissolve these old wounds. They no longer serve you. You don't need them anymore. And just breathe into it, my dear. Continue to breathe and let yourself be held. Give yourself permission to feel safe, to breathe that sigh of relief of, I'm safe. I'm truly safe. You're safe within this vessel. That carries your spirit, your soul, your divine spark. It's safe. So this is, we're healing quite a lot. We're also bringing in safety. So this is a lot of what this is meant to do, or this, I guess, this connection tonight was meant to do, was to really allow you to feel safe. So you understand what that actually feels like. Because what I'm hearing is many people are, but you've been in like fight or flight. And I don't know that you've realized it. Maybe on some level, but maybe you didn't realize like how much. Because when we feel something, like when our temporary stress is one thing, right? But when our body is constantly stressed and we're constantly in fight or flight, we're amazing creatures, right? So we begin to like just acclimate, and then it becomes like this new normal. And so what your higher self wants you to understand is like, that wasn't normal. It was being in survival. And when you're in survival, you don't feel safe. And that can be a very good thing sometimes, in the appropriate moments. But when you're constantly stressed, it's putting unnecessary stress on your immune system, on your nervous system, and it throws your biochemistry out of whack. It throws your hormones out of whack, right? And so I just want you to hold, or allow yourself to feel held and be held by the Divine Mother. So not only are you being held by Mother Earth, you're also being held by Sophia. Sophia is one way of connecting to the female aspect of God. So I just want you to feel into that. And I'm being directed to kind of work a little bit more in your field. And then we're going to wrap all of this up, okay? There's quite a bit. There's quite a bit of energy moving. Okay. Last thing, we are going to just removing all of the associated cords. Just allowing that diamond light to fill in those holes where those cords came out of. And this is repairing your auric fields of any tears or rips or anywhere your energy has been leaking. Elekiama yasiki u ele hasi makoye ha. Ha alejana leo maya hasakoye ele. Koya se shayada. Le ahas. Taking a deep breath. Another deep breath. And just letting that resonance, just feeling it. that resonating in your field. So I'm just going to seal you up here. I'm going to do a diamond egg. Sealing up all this beautiful work. And around that, a golden egg. So around that, a titanium egg. May this serve you in the highest and best way. To release what no longer serves, including identities and the wounds that are attached and connected to those old identities, the beliefs, the fear, the limitations, to release all of that that is attached to that old identity. So that you may bloom. And create a new identity free of those limitations, having mastered the old limitations and expanded beyond them. Surrounding you with blessings of the highest order, overlighting presence, to guide you along your way. And in your own time, my dear, coming back to your body, you might be a little spacey, a little floaty. Opening your eye, one eye, wiggling a finger or toe, opening the other eye, coming back. And if you haven't already, feel free to let me know how that was. Hi, Britt, I see you. Let's see. Let me see. Okay, so Britt, I see you. You got a reading. Oh, and then Lori. I see you, Lori, for a reading. And then Britt says open. Okay, I see your question, Brittany, or Britt. Okay, that's going to be really in depth. I can already feel it. Lori, full reading. I got you, my dear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Whew. Still Releasing. Lori, you said open. Okay. All right. Thank you for the donations. Okay. Tara says that was intense. Big release. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So Tara, Tara, I'm sorry. You can feel free to let me know how you say your name, or what pronunciation it is. But so I want you to drink lots and lots and lots of water, because that's going to help flush all the toxins out, as well as help the facilitation of the energy moving through your body and your system, because water is an excellent conductor. Okay. Lots and lots of water. If you can, if it's accessible to you, a salt bath. Preferably, what I like to do, my personal preference is to do Epsom salt and pink Himalayan salt. Oh, Tira. Okay, so Tira. So I was just pronouncing it totally wrong. My bad. But thank you for letting me know. So lots and lots of water inside, like lots of water. And then if you can do a salt bath, I would do a salt bath. Okay. And then, because a lot of things are going to come, a lot of things are, you're going to process a lot of things over the next couple of days. And, so it's all stuff releasing from your system. So water, and a salt bath is going to help you release those from your system. Okay. Yeah. So as many salt baths, that's the prescription. That's, yeah. On top of that, let me know if I can do anything else to assist you. Or if you want to book anything additional, or, whatever you might need, let me know. Other than that, thank you. And it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to facilitate. It's very, very personalized to me, or very, very personal to me. So thank you for allowing me to facilitate for you. All right. So, Britt, I feel like I have like something poking me. So Britt, oh, whoa. Are you here, my dear? If you are here, Britt, let me know. And then Lori's next. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Okay, Britt's here. One moment. Oh, Lori, you paid me for a reading before, and I never got. Did you get my messages from before? You paid for a reading before, and I couldn't get a hold of you. So I can give you 2 readings if you're here, Lori. Let me know. If I feel like maybe like you just left last time, you like paid and left, but I owe you a reading. And we can do an audio reading or audio recording. Okay. I don't know if you've seen my messages through TikTok, but I've tried everything to get a hold of you. Let me know, Lori, because I owe you one. Okay, Britt, I seen your messages. We're gonna go and do your relationship reading next. Hang on 1 second. I need a bathroom break. Okay, so pause. need love bones. Okay, I'll be back. All right, I am back. All right. So Britt is here. I don't see Lori. That's so interesting. Lori, if you're here, let me know. If I do, I'm just gonna say this as a what do you call it? Just kind of like note. So if you do pay me for a reading and then you disappear and I try to get a hold of you and there's nothing, like I can't get a hold of you for the life of me, but you've paid for a reading, because I always do try. Please know I will keep it. I will keep the money. I won't refund it. Okay. It's like I try. I like Lori did this to me last time, so just know. But hopefully Lori comes back. Okay, so Britt, I seen all of your questions, and I already feel like your higher self coming in, also your guides. So I'm just gonna take some time to kind of just to like connect directly and just feel into kind of get a feel for all of the things, okay? And then I'll just start talking whenever I kind of feel the energy move. One moment. There you are. Okay. Very interesting. Yeah. Okay. Oof. Gives me shivers. Not even like, yeah, kind of like I'm cold. Gives me those kind of shivers, like a hard shiver. Okay, so the first thing I see when I connect to you and this relationship, I see a bleeding heart. That's what they're showing me. Like a bleeding heart that's been ripped out of my chest. This is what it feels like. So it's very intense. There's a lot of emotions. It feels very overwhelming. Which also brings in like feelings of like desperation, like undertones, okay? A feeling like so desperate for that love, like to have that love or that heart, my heart being put back in my chest and feel like whole again. And what they're saying is like this is a necessary time. Okay, they're saying like this is a necessary time to be apart, and then like what they show me is like space, like you and this other person, or you and him, and they're doing this. Okay, and you did say like you're apart right now, and he's doing his thing. So there is. It's kind of symbolic of that. It's also what the other sense that I get with this is this is your opportunity to do some self-exploration. It's like some deep self-exploration. Okay? Because what I guess what they're guiding you towards is to heal the heart on a very deep level. So that it doesn't feel like a bleeding heart anymore. Your heart's been restored fully. he gets to take responsibility and accountability for his work. So this is about radical responsibility on your part, okay? Doing your inner work, inner exploration, okay? And exploring the lessons that are hidden within the wounds around this like massive heart ache. Okay, what they actually show me is they take me back to, again, we're dealing with a lot of past life stuff tonight. This is from another life. You were lovers in that life, and there was like, they're showing me again, separated or pulled apart, like forcibly pulled apart, and almost like dying of heartache, dying of a broken heart. So that longing and that wound is still there. And part of what this connection is here to do for you, my dear, is heal this broken heart. And this is something you might not want to hear, but sometimes medicine doesn't always taste good. Okay? You need to do this for you. Having another person fill that void or having him fill that void and to put that bleeding heart back in your chest is only going to bring in, it's only going to perpetuate patterns of dependency, codependency. And notice, I mean, like, there's a difference between interdependency and codependency, being completely reliant on this person for your happiness, your well-being, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Okay? So this is meant to be a very intense awakening. What they're telling me is like star-crossed lovers. But what you're doing, what they're saying is like there's a sometimes we can romanticize this idea. Oh, we're star-crossed lovers, and you know that may be great. You know, we might be twin flames. They also, did you know what they're wanting me to say is like, did you know that there's actually more than one twin flame? You actually have lots of twin flames, just like soulmates. And sometimes when we romanticize this idea of twin flames or soulmates or star-crossed lovers, it can put blinders over our eyes so that we can't actually see straight. And we can't see the truth of the reality. And actually, because we're blind, we're unable to actually take the corrective or the correct action and the proactive action for our life and take responsibility. So there's a lot of medicine that might not taste so good, but I have to say it how it's coming through. And sometimes tough love is the type of love that we need. So it feels like there's a little bit of a romanticization on this that is skewing how you view this relationship and how you're connecting to this relationship. That's not to say, or that's not to like invalidate or diminish that it's unique to you and it's special to you. Not at all. Okay? So understand the context here. It's more about you healing you and taking this as an opportunity to really go deeply within you. Okay? So that's the opportunity here. There's lots of lessons connected to this, which is they're showing me energetic, emotional, mental, and physical self-sufficiency. Okay? You know, we it's not just like one. It's not like just, oh, I'm going to be self-sufficient. It's like we oscillate. It's good to understand that we can be self-sufficient and alone and enjoy our alone time. And when we're with this person, we're connecting, we're exchanging information, and you know what I mean? So it's important to be able to switch between the two instead of, and right now it feels like self-sufficiency brings out that bleeding heart. It's like, no, I don't know what to do without this person. It's because of this wound from the past life. Okay? So you were asking a couple other questions, whether like he wanted to be, what I actually hear it's very interesting. What I actually hear your guide saying is that's part of the issue here. That's part of the codependency, is you're worried about him, or like you're like wanting to know what he wants, and you're kind of disconnected to actually what you want, like what's actually for your best interest, what's for your benefit. And it's not to dismiss or invalidate anything that you're feeling. It's more about bringing awareness. Now, whether you guys end up together, that's between you two. That's a choice that you have to make. That's a choice that he has to make, and that you guys have to make together. I will say that if individually these issues, these like really deep internal things are not dealt with, the addiction will continue. And it feels like it just like a degradation. So again, this is a very significant, I'm actually hearing choice point for both of you. If he's getting his self better, then you need to focus on you, and you need to focus your energy on pouring that love into you. That's not to say that you don't care about the relationship or anything. It's just saying that the focus, what your higher self is wanting you to do, is focus that energy into you. It's not saying like, don't care about this person over here. It's like, focus here, focus on you, and releasing these wounds and the old identity connected to those wounds. And really get connected to your own values, your own standards. And taking some time apart would be super, super beneficial. I mean even the way that I'm sensing it is like even longer than when he comes back. Now that gets to be ultimately your decision because you have agency over your life and you have authority over your life and your choices. This is just what I'm hearing from your higher self and your like two main guides over here. They want me to emphasize again, if the internal issues of like the desperation, like being so desperate for love and that initial wound from the other life, if it's not resolved, the addiction's going to continue and it's going to take both of you out. Okay. That's how it's being put to me, or that's how they're sharing the information to me. So that's how I'm putting it. I'm just saying what I'm hearing. It's like this downward spiral. What you can do, they're saying, is even though this is a past life, this wound came in with you from a past life. It's always like, I believe, firmly believe, it's important to bring it into like the present time. And like, even though this is like a past life thing, it's important to bring it into the present moment and how it relates to the present moment and at least your present life. So I would look from anywhere from in the womb to about 7 years old. Where did you feel scorned by love or pulled apart from the one you love? There's this thing that I keep hearing is like, love is pain. And you're unconsciously operating from this like, love is pain, love is pain, love is pain, love is pain. And so is he. So together, unconsciously, not consciously, unconsciously, you're recreating this like big cycle together, because even though you may be twin flames, not all twin flames end up together or are meant to be together. I'm not saying that you're not. But what I like to tell people who come to me with like twin flame stuff or even soulmate stuff is focus on you and healing you and remembering your wholeness and getting your shit together. And then that, you know, that might mean that like you put this on the back burner for a while. But then guess what you get to do is you get to do your work. You get to purify yourself. You get to resolve these issues within yourself. And then when these wounds have been released, then you come to realize that you feel differently and you want to connect differently if you are still interested. Okay? So it's giving you the opportunity to really investigate very deeply where the desperation for love and the wound around love is pain, comes from, so that you can release that. This is causing a lot of chaos and havoc in your life, especially in your relationships. I'm hearing that it also I actually wouldn't be surprised if it affects your relationship with money, because that's kind of showing me it's affecting that as well. So this is an opportunity for you to get right with you. Take some time. If for no one else, but because you love you and you realize you need to do this for yourself. That gets to be your choice when you're willing and ready. Sometimes we're not willing, but we're ready. Sometimes we're ready, but we're not willing. You need to have both. You need to be willing and ready to do this for yourself. So be true to you. It does get to be your choice. Okay? But I will say, from all of the insight and information that I'm getting from your guides and your higher self, this is opportunity for you to get right with you and to really let this core wound go and the identity that goes with it, because it's heading you down a very destructive path. Okay? So what they're saying is, like, your questions about if he wants to get back together, what they're saying is, like, it's obsolete. It doesn't matter. What do you want? What do you want for your life? Because on this, you keep going the way you're going with how being more invested in whether he wants, it's playing into that desperation for love. Does that make sense? Of like, I don't want to lose this. If I lose this, I'm not going to be loved. But yes, you are. It's the fear that's creating the illusion that you're not going to have anything beyond this. And if you can release the fear and the identity that holds the fear, you'll be able to see more clearly. Does this make sense? So they're saying what he wants is obsolete. You need to be more vested in what you want. If you want this, then invest in yourself. Be your best self showing up to this relationship. Do your healing work so that you can show up as your best version to this relationship. If that's what you want, you can let it be your fuel and your excuse to do the work. What I do feel is that as you do this work, as you release the karma and the wounds, your feelings may change. And I think that's what you're afraid of. That's part of, like, the was unconsciously operating, is you're afraid that if you do the work and if you do, like, really feel into what you want and the being that you came to be, that you're going to lose this and you're never going to have any kind of love ever again. But I'm telling you, you will. But you have to do your work, and you have to be more vested in your work than you are in what anybody else wants. What do you want? Like, truly for yourself. Do you want to be happy? Do you want to have a healthy relationship that doesn't have, like, this addiction? It's, like, happy and it's healthy and it's uplifting. It's connective. It's self-sufficient, and we get to connect. It's both. It's not starving you and the person. It's life-giving. Like, really tune into what are the qualities that you want in a relationship. And here's the other big $1 million question they're having me ask is, why do you want a relationship? And more specifically, why do you want this relationship? Is it because there's an underlying belief that if you don't have this, you don't have anyone else? Is this all you've ever known? Like, what are the qualities? Okay? Your guides, your higher self are saying all of this with love. Again, sometimes that love needs to be tough love. And the last little bit they want me to say is, again, we're on this like thing of honesty and the truth. You got to be really, really honest with yourself here. If this relationship is healthy, and if it's unhealthy, what are your parameters? What are your boundaries of if it continues, if you do get back together and it continues to go this way, is it time to leave, or are you going to stay with it? Because you need to get really clear on that. Otherwise, you're going to go along. If you're not really clear on what you want and what your boundaries are and your perimeters are, and you're absolute like, nope, I'm not going to do it. They're showing me that like you have a tendency to, I'm just going to go with whatever's there, because it's like a settling. You feel like, I feel like it's like, I'm never going to have this again because you were torn apart in this other life. So you're wanting to resolve those feelings, those unresolved, unconscious feelings. Does that make sense? And you need to resolve these within yourself before you kind of go along a path that could possibly be very, very destructive for you both. Okay? Your guides and your higher self are like, okay, that's it. They're just showing me like that's kind of showing me to like cut off. There's a lot for you to kind of decide and percolate. Like, it's really time, like a choice point is what they're showing me is a choice. This is a choice point. And so your life from here is dramatically either going to go this way, or it could go, like, it doesn't matter like the up or down. That doesn't necessarily mean good or bad, but they're drastically two different timelines. That's a choice point. You're either going to go in this trajectory or you're going to go in this trajectory. And that's not like, it's not just limited to two, but that's just for illustration purposes. Okay. So, but let this information percolate, fill into what's true for you. Because maybe, hey, you decide it's all bullshit. That gets to be your choice. Okay, so feel into it for yourself. Do what you intuitively feel guided to do and how to honor you. I'll always tell that to people no matter what I say. And then, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But like, if you feel guided to do something completely different or opposite of what the information is coming through here, please, honor yourself and your intuition above all. I can only tell you what's coming through for me and the relationship. But I've already said the thing, so I'm not going to reiterate it, but let it all percolate. Sometimes tough love is the kind of love that we need to kind of open our eyes. There's a lot of lessons for you here, like a lot of lessons. So there's a lot of gems. There's a lot of growth. That doesn't mean that it's not painful now, or it's not like feeling some kind of way now, but there is a lot of potential here for your own life, for your own growth, and for your own like remembrance of who the fuck you actually are. Like the beautiful, magnificent, glowing, radiant being that you truly are. That divine self that you really are. And with that, they are disconnecting. So, my dear, let me scroll back and see. Okay, I know. Okay, I don't see any. Yes, that was a paid private reading. However, I do always encourage, like, if it's something, even if I'm reading for someone else, if it resonates for you, take it. If it doesn't, don't take it. You know, I think a lot of people get caught up in like the misconceptions of like, oh, it's their reading, it's not for me. But like, spirit moves through all of us. And sometimes we can be blind to spirit and how it's moving because we think, oh, it's them, it's not me. No, that's just another version of you. Does it resonate with you? How can you apply it to your life? If it's not applicable, then please use your discernment. But if it does, then apply it as well. Hey Britt, how you doing, my dear? Oh, Alicia, you paid? Okay. Lori, are you here? You paid for an in-depth? Okay. Hey Ash, how are you, my dear? Lori, where the fuck you at, Lori? I love you. Are you here? Okay, Alicia, I see you. Thank you for your donation. Do you have, before we get started, Alicia, so Britt says everything you said is pretty much on point. I started my healing. Oh, see how it's divine timing. It's divine timing. So my energy tends to act as a catalyst. So a lot of people come to me to kind of catalyze their awakening and also their healing journey. So that's like right on point. So sending you so much love. If you ever want to go into another like super in-depth reading, feel free to book in with me, or just catch me on another live. You never know. And then I'm just sending you so many blessings and so much overlighting, high benevolent presence in your life to help you to help guide you on your journey of like remembering your wholeness and really getting clear in what it is that you want. Because if you're not clear in what you want first, you're just going to go with whatever. You're going to settle for whatever. And you're fucking worth it. You're worth the best. Okay? Know that. Beyond a fucking shadow of a doubt, you are worth it. Okay? So, sending you all the love, Britt. We're sending you all the love. Okay, Alicia. Lori, is Lori here? I feel like Lori does this. She pays for a reading and then leaves. So, Alicia, do you have a specific question in mind, my dear? It could be general health, love, career, or if you have a question, yes or no, or like a more in-depth, or if you're just open, that's cool too. I gotta turn my light off here. Let me know, Alicia. It was Lori's turn before, but Lori is nowhere to be found. Lori, if you're out there, Please let me know that you're here. Also, if you are on a healing journey, I am starting a community on Facebook, a free community, totally free. But I would like to start gathering a community there to do group healings and to help people through their healing journey, because I've been through all of the things, and I'm really good. I'm really good at. I'm not only good at being able to pinpoint people's like pain points and things, but also helping them release. So if you'd like to do that, or if that's of interest of you, the link is in my profile to go to be added to the group. All you have to do is answer, I think it's just 2 questions, like, are you on a healing journey, and what do you struggle with most? And then then you're in, basically. Right? Okay, so Alicia, I'm waiting on you, my dear. No rush. Oh, okay. So Alicia says, hold on, let me wait. Alicia, did you say something before? Okay, new love. Okay, so new love. Will my crush tell me how he feels about me in February? February almost over, girl. I'm just saying. I think he's been flirting with me. Okay, so you kind of want to know. I get the sense of where you're going. So you kind of basically, for my own understanding, it feels like you kind of want to know how he feels, if he's going to express his feelings, and also that you feel like he's been flirting. Have you been flirting? And also where that might potentially go. Am I correct in assuming that? Oh, that's very interesting. Is it? I don't want to butcher your name, but I'm afraid that I will. Is it Cheyenne? It's a really cool name, like Cheyenne, and then like Cheyenne. That's really cool. It really depends on your perspective. Like, terrifying is like, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? So it's really about your perception of it. You could totally be neutral of like, interesting. Just a thought. Sometimes we get stuck in like, oh, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is terrifying. But what if you just were like, interesting. And then you didn't have like any attachments to it being good or bad, or it's like, it just is. You're creating. See where it takes you. Very interesting. Okay. All right, Alicia. So I feel you. I got you. So let me just connect to you. So I am currently doing a paid reading. However, if at any time what I say, or the information that comes through, because I tend to just go into a channeling state, if it resonates, take it. How does it apply to your life? If it doesn't, don't take it. Very simple, very easy. We don't have to overcomplicate things. Oh, okay. So you think he might be in a relationship and you're going through a divorce. Okay. So you feel like this might be a new thing. All right. So let me feel into the energy. I'm going to connect to you first, and then from your field, I'll feel into the relationship and the alignment, and I kind of just let your guides and the information come through. Okay? Your guides, your higher self, and any information that needs to come through that is for your highest and best good. So as So what I'm hearing, this is very interesting. What I'm hearing when I first kind of tune into your energy, Alicia, you can tell me if it's right or wrong. But this is what I'm hearing is like, it feels like the divorce was a long time coming. And it feels like a congratulations is in order. Because this is also allowing your identity to shift in like a pretty, I would say, massive way, very significant way. So what it feels like to me is, from the sense that I get, is at least over the next 4 years, a massive identity shift for you. Okay? And part of that massive identity shift, yes, part of that massive identity shift is bringing in this like new kind of potential. I will say they're kind of being pretty blunt about this, pretty like frank. Okay, I don't know if this is the guy. He seems to have some entanglements that as I feel into his energy, I don't know if he is willing to let those entanglements go. Because the person that I feel you, like at least the potential of the version of you that I feel you becoming, I don't know that you'd be like kosher with these old attachments that he's got going on. They're like relationship things, but also like how he handles relationships. There's kind of a lack of integrity, if I'm being honest. And the potential of the person, the version that I feel you becoming, I don't feel like he's in alignment with that version of you. Not saying you can't experiment and go there. That does get to be your choice. So if it kind of, it does, if you do get together, it feels like a pretty short term thing before you start feeling like, don't know if this guy is the person like I thought he was. Again, it just feels like a lack of integrity with how he handles relationships. And we're talking about relationships of all kinds, whether it's family, friends, romance. It feels like the phrase that I hear is loosey goosey. And I'll just say it like what I'm hearing is like, you deserve better than that. You already came from something that after a while, like it was good. Like the marriage was good at first, and then it was like settling. You settled and settled and settled and settled. And the massive identity shift that I feel you going through won't be able to contain a relationship with this man, because he's pain. I hear like loosey goosey, and then I hear fast and loose. And that just, it feels like misaligned. Okay. So we move in a lot of energy. I'm shivering. And so usually a sign of shifting, moving a lot of energy really quickly. Again, just a lot of entanglements. I don't know if he's gonna shift those things in this lifetime. I don't know if he's meant to. But it feels new, it feels exciting. And so what could be, I'm searching for the words, what could be really beneficial for you at this moment, because you're going through a divorce, and even though it's been over for a while, when it's finally finalized, you're gonna feel like a whole weight, has been, lifted off of you, even though it's been like the marriage has kind of been dead for quite some time. And so I feel like at least one of the purposes of this new connection is to help you feel into that new version of you. So feeling into the newness, how does it inspire you? How does it ignite your sensuality? How does it ignite you or your passion? What are the qualities that it is igniting in you? And I would say focus on the qualities. Because I don't feel this guy panning out. But the feelings and the qualities of the feelings can really help you tag in and tap into the new version of you that you're going to be creating, that new identity of you. You're worth all of it. You're worthy of all of it. Of a relationship that is healthy and trustworthy and open and transparent and loving and compassionate, and like all of the qualities you want. Not just settling for some of them. Okay? And that's what I hear him saying. Yeah, I would say yes, he is flirting. But again, I feel like, I don't know if he actually has a person, but it feels like he has a person. But like, almost like, again, fast and loose. I have a person, but he's operating in a way that would have you think he's truly available when he feels like he's entangled with someone else. And he feels like he chases that new rush. I'm chasing that new rush. And then it gets old. I got to find someone else that, piques his interest. And it's like that endorphin rush, the dopamine, the serotonin that floods the brain. That's what he kind of feels like to me. Not that he's like a scumbag, like we all have light and dark parts. These are just some like unconscious patterns that I don't see him really addressing in this life. So again, I would focus on the qualities that this this like little flirty, flingy type of thing is igniting within you, because I feel like that tags you into that new identity. Who do you want to become? Who are you letting go of? Because that, I'm telling you, that's like, you're going to look back in 4 or 5 years and be like, holy fuck, I'm not that person anymore. And you're going to see exactly all of the things that you let go of. But like right now, you can feel it. Like everything is available here and now because you can feel it. So who are you becoming? Who are you letting go of? What qualities are you letting go of? I'm telling you, you want to let go of settling in this guy. He might be charming. He might be handsome. But it feels like a passing phase. Okay? What you actually came to know about was this new identity, and you can create it very consciously every step of the way. So who do you want to become? And you can tag into that by saying, or like writing down, what qualities am I letting go of? Who am I letting go of? What versions of myself am I letting go of? And then tag into the opposite. What am I actually wanting to create for myself? What kind of person, what kind of identity? Because they keep saying, don't settle. Okay? They keep saying, don't settle, don't settle, don't settle. That's part of like the big lesson here, is like having higher standards, but also being very, very connected to your values and not compromising on your values. You're worth every bit of those values because you are valuable. Simply because you're alive and you exist, you're valuable, you're worthy, you deserve it. That's what you came to actually know. But they're telling me this guy feels like he's a passing phase. He's like just passing through. But like I said, enjoy the feelings, enjoy the feelings, the sensuality, the passion, the flirting, like the playfulness. Get into that and feel into that and create more of that in your life. Or I would say, how can you create more of that in your life? That feeling alive and feeling just like playful and sensual and whatever other feelings that this connection brings. This connection is meant to like give you a taste of what you can tag into and tap into, as you create this new version of yourself, this new identity. Okay? I'm hearing to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. That's what I'm hearing. Let me know. I'm just going to write some things down here. There we go. That's up to you, my dear. That's definitely up to you, whether you're with him or not. Are you willing? Even if he's a passing phase, it gets to be your choice. So I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. I just feel like it feels like, I will say, it feels like I feel like things get entangled and kind of messy if you get involved with him. Because it feels like he's involved with someone else. If not, I don't know if that's multiple people. It's a very interesting feeling, and I'm trying to put words to him. Like, is this multiple people that he's involved with? It feels like one for sure, but it gets very, so it gets to be your choice ultimately. Okay. That does get to be your choice, but I will say it feels like it could be messy. So if that's something that you're open to, or at least experimenting or having the experience of it, then go for it. Have fun with it. Be free and open, and just have it be fun. And do it for the fun and the playfulness of it. You know? Whether the reason why I can't, like, the reason why they're not showing me, because they don't always show me all of the things. Like, am I going to be with them? That's really up to you and your choice, because everything fluctuates with your choice. There's a possibility. Absolutely. There's a timeline there where you guys are together. That's why I'm saying it could get messy. That's why they're saying it could get messy. So they did show it to me. I just didn't realize that they were. So it's definitely there. It's a possibility. Do you want to? Free will, exactly. Yeah, I would say beyond, because you're asking, will the right one come in the future? I do feel one coming in more stable, yeah. But it does feel like after this, now understand that, like, when I say 4 years, it doesn't necessarily mean exactly 4 years. It could be more or less depending on choices, depending on other events, depending on timing, depending on all of these different variables. Okay? So about 4 years. Because there's like some things that you need to process. Like I said, marriage has been over for a while, but like after it's fully done, you're then going to start another grieving and processing part where you're going to start just deconstructing. You already are in it, but you're going to be even more in the process of deconstructing this old version. And it feels like in that process, you're also creating a new version of you, a new version of Alicia. And after that, kind of in that process, kind of rediscovering you, reconnecting to you, your values, your needs, being kind of self-sufficient and kind of on your own for a while to purify your field, your energy. After that feels like what I hear is more appropriate time, because the timing, things will have aligned more. Make sense? So you got some time and you get to choose what you do at that time. Lori, are you out there, my dear? Oops. Lori, but that's kind of the gist of what I'm feeling for you. You're going through this massive undertaking of creating a whole new persona and a whole new identity. And I guess this doesn't have to be your belief, but personally, I believe for a lot of us, it's best to do that alone, or at least not in a romantic relationship, because then sometimes, if you're a people pleaser, or if you're maybe an empath and kind of tend to enmesh in other people and lose yourself in relationships, it can be that much more difficult and challenging to figure out who you are if you're not in a relationship. So I don't know if that applies to you, Alicia, but for a lot of those of us who might become more enmeshed or lose themselves or have a pattern of losing themselves in relationships, I found it's much more beneficial for us to go through that phase alone, because then we can really connect on a deep level and we can really get in there, all the nooks and crannies. You're welcome. I hope that helps. You know what I mean? Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You know, and if anything is kind of unclear, put it in your back pocket. It might resonate later. Okay? It's been a pleasure, and it's always it's always a pleasure for me to like facilitate and read. So let's do a last call for both free and paid readings. Okay, Lori, I have her on the list for a paid reading, but Lori, are you here? I'm going to message her again after the live, try to get a hold of her. So, if you're new to this spot, hi, I'm Angelica. I am a quantum healer and an intuitive empath. And I also do readings to help people basically confirm things they already know, but also, you know, to really tag into things that need to change and release for your highest and best good. So how it works around here is, like I said, I'm offering free and paid readings as well as other paid services. So as far as free readings, just comment with your name and a question. It could be yes, no, general, career, health, etc. I just don't do pregnancy or fertility readings because they're not my bag. Okay. And the way those free readings work is I just go to whoever I'm intuitively guided to go to. Okay. So if I don't read you, don't take it personally. I'm just going wherever I'm intuitively guided. Okay. As for my paid services, look at that. In-depth reading, just like I was reading for Alicia. I do chakra clearing and cord removal, quantum healing, mediumship, and multidimensional mediumship. If you have questions about any of those, let me know. I'll do my best to answer. If you do want to pay or donate for a reading, all the links to donate are in my profile. Okay, there's Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. PayPal is the little icon at the very, very bottom with all of the other like little logos and the other icons. Okay, and if you do donate, let me know in the comments you donated. Okay, because all of my paying peoples go on the list and they go first. Okay. So I'm just gonna start scrolling here. Let's do the last call. And if you are maybe on the fence about either working with me one-on-one or even donating for a paid service, feel free to watch my YouTube. I post all of my live streams there, so you can see, you know, you can see mediumship, you can see my in-depth readings, you can see me do energy work and stuff like that before, and that might help you make a decision. Okay. Oh, this is okay. I'm actually feeling you, Cheyenne. Are you here? There's a lot of energy coming from you. Oh, excuse me. Okay, there you are. So, Cheyenne is asking, my abuser's court date is Monday. Will I finally be free of him? It's been 13 years of pain. So first of all the hugs, all the love, all the comfort. Okay? I know how that can be very that can be very wounding and painful. No, it's not. It's, first of all, never apologize for you, for being who you are, having a strong personality, feeling like you're too much, too little, too whatever. You don't get to apologize for being who you are. Okay? So, just to first of all, the biggest thing that I feel when I'm tuning into your energy is, and this is not to invalidate any of the pain, okay, over the years, but there is a victim energy. Very, very, very strong victim energy here. And one of the tricky things about victim energy is that we can become addicted to being a victim and not even realize it. And there's a payoff to being a victim. And this is not to invalidate or dismiss, again, the pain or anything like that. But what you're asking here is like, will I be free of him? And that's what I'm feeling, is it's coming from a place of being the victim. Do I get to be free here? But honey, you are the authority of your life. You get to choose to release this or not. That doesn't mean like the memories and the things won't be there for a while you process and move forward. But at least with the way you're wording your question, it tells me that you're not taking full authority and agency over your life and saying, no, I get to choose how I move on. I get to choose what I learn from this. I get to choose what I take from this, what I glean from this, what I learn from this, and what it's actually. I'll say one of the things that it's typically with victim energy, it's showing us where we have given our power away, where we have completely dismissed, given it away, rejected it, hid from it. It's all about power. And the way you asked your question is showing me and telling me energetically that this person and his actions towards you still have power over you. So this, and I'm gonna get to all of the other stuff in a minute, but this is what's really important, is you releasing it. And let me tell you why. I've dated a sociopath. I dated a sociopath. I didn't know he was a sociopath. I didn't know. Was very charming. I had the wool pulled over my eyes, everything. I fell for all of it. And then when I realized he had a wife, because she contacted me and she was trying to get away from him, trying to get a divorce from him, I was like, holy shit. I went to spend 2 weeks with this person. They didn't tell, they were living with their parents at the time. They didn't tell their parents that I was going to be staying there for 2 weeks. So I looked like an asshole. Also, I was very shut down in the throat chakra back then, and I was so scared to say anything and to set the record straight. But I didn't realize that until the last day I was leaving, and then his parents just like tore into me. But as I was traveling home, like I had traveled to another state to see this person. As I was driving back, he calls me and he's like snickering, like, ha ha ha, I got you, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like I let it wash through me. Like there was there was betrayal, there was like all of these things, but like, I was like, no, this is not who I am. This is not the kind of person I'm going to be with. I deserve way better. And he maybe tried to contact me one other time, but I wasn't having it because like, I was just like, my energy about it, there was like, yeah, I had to process the things, but I had let it go energetically. Does that make sense? And I say that, I tell the story to illustrate a point. You need to let go of it energetically. You're not a victim. I know that you've been victimized, but who you truly are as a divine being is not a victim. And so you get to say how you move forward, whether or not this person, goes to jail or whatever, whatever. It's your energy. And that can sound really woo-woo and really fucking out there, but I'm telling you, when you shift your energy around something, things shift. Like literally, that guy could have, like, he was giving his wife all kinds of hell. He wouldn't sign the divorce papers. She was just so like, she was kind of in that victim energy of like, I don't know how to get rid of him. I was like, sorry, no, I don't play that game. Bye. You're not gonna fuck with me. Like I said, I think he might have tried to contact me one other time. I was just like, I'm not giving it energy because I deserve better. And I just don't fuck around like that. So, like I said, this is about you and taking your power back and realizing that you've given this person way too much of your power. Way too much of your power. Way too much of your time. And again, it's not to say that there hasn't been pain, there's not painful memories. Those things need to be processed. And with time, as they come up and you allow yourself, you will process them. But this is about power. You've given this person way too much of your power. This goes to a past life thing too. I'm not quite seeing the relationship. I almost feel like this person was an abusive parent in another life. And you're here to clear the karma. Are you willing to take your power back? Because that involves taking radical responsibility of understanding and seeing and acknowledging, even if it's painful, where you've given your power away. Because with that awareness comes your power. So this is all about power and reclaiming. This is a reclamation of your power. This is a very, very beautiful and potent initiation, a rite of passage for you. Which it's sacred. in your own time, in your own time, okay? In your own time. Forgive him, thank him, so you can move on. It's not for him, it's for you. You've given him too much of your power. Let me tell you, everything comes back around. His soul will eventually have to reckon with the things that he's done and the pain that he's caused for his own growth, his own soul's growth. Okay? Sometimes we want to feel vindicated in watching someone else get what they deserve. But guess what that is? That's succumbing to the same energy and the same power dynamics. It's because you want to feel powerful. It's because you want to feel like you have power. But it's actually coming from the same wounded space that he used to perpetrate against you. So what you need to do, you don't need to do anything, but what I invite you to do is in your own time. This isn't about dismissing the pain, the agony, all of the shit that you've been through. Please hear me when I say that. You need to thank him. You need to forgive him in your own time and as you're ready. And I will say, it's not like you forgive someone and then you're done. A lot of times, these things take time because they need to happen in layers. And it just happens in time. It happens gradually in ways that we can kind of process and integrate into our life. So that would be my recommendation, because that's you taking your power back. That's actually a demonstration of you taking your power back. Saying, you know what, like, I forgive you. Thank you for showing me where I'm giving my power away and I'm addicted to being a victim, so I can move on. And there's going to be so many lessons in that if you're open to it. Okay? I'm so sorry for whatever he's done to you, because it feels like he's caused a lot of pain, not just in your life. And he will reckon with that. His soul will come to a reckoning. But it is not your place, nor do you have power over that. And what you're actually looking for is to get your power back and to feel powerful. Okay? So that's the long answer. The short answer is you get to free yourself. And I get that that's not what people want to hear, and sometimes that can be really hard to hear. But you know what? Medicine isn't always the greatest tasting. Sometimes we need to hear those hard truths. And it doesn't condone what he did, or dismiss what he did, or dismiss your pain. However, all of that is part for you to process and take responsibility for. And say, yeah, this is mine. This happened to me. But it doesn't define you. It doesn't define me. Okay? It doesn't get to define who you are. but it's part of your experience. And it's part of your lessons in power and reclamation of power. Massive, massive, massive initiation and rite of passage for you. Okay? So I know that's not always what people want to hear. I know that can be hard to hear, but that's what's coming through. Okay? Oh, yeah. So I've always known this will be a huge point in my life when this cycle comes through. Yeah, because you know what you're also doing is, what I hear with this is generational trauma. So you're actually ending a cycle. It stops with you. And that's a huge honor. It doesn't feel like it at the time, but it's a huge honor to be like the turning point. And I know exactly what that's like. I've always been terrified of what I naturally know. This has helped so much. Oh, I'm so glad. I needed to hear this. Thank you for your direction. I'm so glad you were open and receptive to that, because I know that can be really, really triggering to hear. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And so I'm really glad that you're open to hearing that. You get to take your power back. So yeah, that's beautiful. Sending you so much love, Cheyenne. We all sending you love. Hi, Alicia. I do facilitate mediumship, but those are one of my paid services only, simply because it takes a lot of energy for me to connect in that way. Okay. I hope that answers the question. Let's see. Let me just scroll through the comments to see if there's any other like free readings. I don't see any more paid services or paid readings. Excuse me, coming through. But I just want to see if there's any other questions that I'm drawn to. Okay. Oh, Alicia. Okay, so yeah, mediumship. So there's my paid services. All the links to donate are in my profile. Okay, there's Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. PayPal is the icon on the very bottom, like a little money icon sign. And then let me know if you do donate. Also, let me know if you've ever seen me do mediumship. How I perform or how I facilitate mediumship is different. I mean, I think everybody has their own different ways. Or if you'd like me to even explain or kind of go through it before you even pay, just to see if it's something that you like. Okay, Victoria. Okay, it's your stage name. I like it. Okay, all right. Okay, I'll explain. Okay, so kind of comes in two phases. So either you can, before I explain the phases, the stages, are two parts. You can either be open to who wants to come through, or you can connect, you can have me connect directly. I will say, sometimes I have had people like say, oh, I want to connect to this person, and like someone else comes in. I don't control it. I'll just say I don't control it. They say who comes through. So the first part is we're kind of identifying who is coming through. Sometimes I've had people come through that, that are actually quite far back in the ancestry, and the people don't know. So what I like to tell people at this point is, since I'm a healer and I work a lot with ancestral healing and ancestral energy is my mediumship also facilitates, I would say mostly, I would say mainly facilitates a lot of ancestral healing that needs to happen within the bloodline. Okay, so the second part of that is usually some kind of healing or message. You know, I'm not like a Tyler Henry or a John Edwards that brings up and, you know, all of these like super specific messages. That could be because my mediumship actually started opening last year, and it's still kind of opening and developing. That could be one of the reasons. But, you know, just so you know, that's kind of how I operate and kind of how I work. I haven't had any complaints. But yeah. Let me see if my light will come on. Okay, it will come on. But you can let me know. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, she walked the... Wow. I just wanted to let you know that I'm Native American. My name is Native. My grandmother walked the Trail of Tears. That is... I'm just sending so much love. So much. Gotta get emotional. I don't even have words for that, but there's so much respect for the path that your grandmother had to walk. Like literally. It's 39. It's 39, Alicia. You're gonna see. It's 39. Okay. You're welcome to pay more if you're guided to, or if you feel inspired to, but it's 39. Oh, I thought it would help to make sense what you probably picked up on yeah, it's the generational thing of being a victim. Like that's massive. Like it's giving me like shivers all over. I don't know if you can tell, I'm kind of shivering. But like you're here to really massively shift that generation, especially being Native. There's so much trauma with a lot of, you know, Native and melanated people and those lineages that are being healed as we break those curses and generational traumas. Whew, I'm shaken. That's thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. So many blessings to you, Cheyenne. It's such a pretty name. It's so pretty. So while we wait, oh, actually, I don't think. So okay, Victoria. So Victoria. Okay. Alicia. So Alicia and or Victoria, let me know what you would like for me to refer to you as, which name, and let me know when you're back. Alicia, okay. I'm going to put AKA Alicia. So mediumship. Can you guys hear my cat? He's like, Mom? 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 All right, I got you down. So, all right, let me get a drink and then we'll dive in. And first of all, thank you, Alicia. Appreciate the donation. And may this serve you. May this connection and all the information that comes from it serve you in the highest and best way along your path of empowerment and remembrance, connection, etc. So I'm just gonna, you said your brother, you're also open. Okay, so definitely feel free to type in the comments, Alicia, you know, if there's a hit or a miss. I've definitely had my fair share of misses. So, you know, feel free to say, because I'm still learning. It's a different kind of intuition. So I'm still kind of learning what, you know, the message is that's coming through, and I'm still learning how to like convey that and articulate that. So sometimes it just helps me to understand, you know, what's being said and how to actually articulate the message that's coming through. Okay. So just know that this is going to take, you're also going to be active in this. Okay. Had a lot of energy. There's a lot of energy coming through. Let me, before I start, let me just ground one moment. I had to release some of the energy because I was taking it on. Okay, feel so much more grounded now. Okay. So, Alicia, I do feel male. So I actually feel presence to my right. Right signifies male, masculine, or masculine energy. So was brother, I hear like life of the party. Was brother like life of the party type of like life of the party type, where he's like very outgoing, really great sense of humor, everybody liked him, that type of personality. Am I frozen? Okay, let me know if I'm still frozen. Look, Mom. You're funny, Shannon. Yeah, absolutely. So I will. Okay, so I'm going to pause, take a break, shut off this live, and then come back. Okay? So find me, Alicia. Am I still frozen? Oh, is that better? Let me know when it's better. I'm actually, is that better? Let me know when it's better. I'm actually, is that better? Let me know when it's better. I'm actually still frozen. Oh, hold on. Is it still frozen? Who can see me and I'm not frozen? I'm glad I looked up. I feel like I need to like switch over here. You can see me? Okay. It might be Alicia. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to actually end the live and come back. So one moment.